Then to today, when the reception Trump received through his lawyers wasn't an embrace, it was a rebuff. Judges in 3 different jurisdictions trying to rein in the sitting president, who was elected to make good on a clear set of campaign promises. The rogue resistance is real. The myriad lawsuits against the Trump administration have one aim: to make it impossible for him to implement key parts of his agenda. Now, they aim to drown him and the DOJ in a nonstop wave of litigation, challenging everything from his move to separate transgender troops from military service, to shrinking the federal workforce, to deporting the most dangerous illegal aliens imaginable. Now, the idea that any plaintiff with standing can forum shop for the most liberal jurisdiction, then one judge in that district can stop the president's policies, it's obscene. First, Judge James Boasberg in D.C. denied the Trump team's petition to vacate his earlier rulings that put a temporary hold on deportations under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Boasberg ruled that while the government doesn't have to release any potential deportees in custody going forward without conceding the harm that most of these vicious foreign criminals had done to their innocent victims, Boasberg lamented the living conditions in the Salvador prison. Then, in the D.C. District Court of Appeals today, at an oral argument challenging Boasberg's initial hold on the deportations, Obama nominee Judge Patricia Millett made her own political speech with words chosen that would, of course, guarantee her national media coverage.
There were plane loads of people. There were no procedures in place to notify people. Nazis got better treatment under the Alien Enemy Act than has happened here.
Nazis, of course, they're back to Nazis. And then in another court, the commander-in-chief was blocked again in a case involving transgender airmen challenging Trump's executive orders, proclaiming, guess what, controversial, there are only 2 sexes, and the other one barring openly transgender military personnel from serving in the military. Now, U.S. District Judge Christine O'Hearn, another Biden appointee in this case, ruled for the 2 trans plaintiffs and granting the preliminary injunction. So these are just 3 of the cases. There are many, many more. It is fatuous to say that the courts are not acting politically here, or that Trump is somehow out of bounds in criticizing the judges. This is absurd. Anyone who knows their history knows that presidents going back to Thomas Jefferson criticized the courts. FDR criticized the courts. Reagan criticized the courts. And Trump is criticizing the courts. Oh, and by the way, Democrats all along always criticized the courts when they didn't get their way. We all remember also what the left did when Democrats largely ignored what they did when things went their way, didn't go their way.
Hands off our body! Hands off our body! Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out!
All day long, I saw the zeitgeist on the other cable networks. They were all celebrating, of course. It's basically saying Trump versus the courts. It's not going to end well for Trump, we're supposed to believe. I'll say tonight that is wrong. It ultimately will not end well for the courts themselves. We saw what happened to the credibility of the once respected and supposedly impartial organizations, all of them, when they turned against the popular will. From the FBI to the DOJ to Dr. Fauci, the NIH, CDC, the universities, to the corporate media. They're all weaker than they used to be. Now, why? Is it because conservatives are mean? No. It's because they were all, in their own ways, weaponized and politicized against the people whom they're supposed to serve. So in this case, all these renegade judges, all that they're doing with these Trump cases, it's teaching the 77 million Americans who supported Trump that the courts can't be trusted.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.